Okay, so you've seen quite a few of our reviews on Harley-Davidson cruisers over the past few months. Well, now we're bringing you a review on another cruiser, although this time it's from BMW. Now, some might remember we first tested the R18 back in 2020 when it was first released. Well, now we're testing the new model, the R18 Roctane. And how good does this beast look? Before we go any further, let's give this big beast the once-over, which at first may seem a little overwhelming for some riders, especially with its sheer size. But don't let it fool you. Once you get up and riding, it's a very stable cruiser with some serious power to burn. Talking about power to burn, I think one of the biggest draw cards with the R18 Roctane is that massive 1800cc boxer engine, which packs more punch than Mike Tyson, pumping out 158mm of torque at 3000 RPM. And it delivers all that power with serious purpose when you twist the whip. Obviously, the boxer engine is deeply ingrained into BMW's history and has been a cornerstone of the engine lineup since we first saw it released to the world in 1923 on the R32. And the history of the 4-valve boxer engine can be traced back to 1992 with the release of the R1000 RS, almost 70 years later. Now, if you haven't ridden a BMW with a boxer engine before, it can take a little getting used to, especially with the horizontal cylinder heads. Twist the throttle and the whole bike flicks left, which is noticeable even through the corners. Having said that, once you become accustomed to the way it feels, it's great to ride. It's got a great deep exhaust note too, which sounds great, especially when you give it a fistful along the highway. And yes, there's no doubting the R18 has quite a bit of weight, coming in at 374 kilos, which you definitely feel when you're lifting it off the side stand or moving around slowly. The BMW have done their homework when it comes to the frame and the suspension setup, providing balanced handling whether you're riding along in traffic or punching it through the twisties, which is quite an achievement given the laid-back cruiser design. Now, being a BMW, you'd expect there to be some extra features when it comes to the tech front, and there is. With a state-of-the-art LED lighting system, ride modes, which include rock, roll and rain. Obviously rock is equivalent to sport, roll to road, and rain is self-explanatory. It also includes automatic stability control, engine drag torque control, hill start control, along with reverse assist, which is handy when you're manoeuvring in and out of tight spots. The dragster seat, as you can see, is quite comfortable and large, and it's perfect, not a bad seat height at about 720mm, and it's quite a relaxed ride and perfect for a long trip away as well. But once you're up and rolling, the Roctane is brilliant to ride. The 6-speed gearbox shifts smoothly, while those mini ape hangers are quite comfortable whether you're just cruising or having a serious go. I did find the shift peg and the rear brake a little hard to engage, sometimes being located directly under the heads without much clearance, but you do get used to it, while the toe and heel change for the gear change helps out immensely. And that power delivery, as mentioned earlier, is smooth with all the torque coming on in spades when you're looking to get to the front of the pack. I did hear someone say that riding the R18 Roctane is a bit like dancing with a strong partner. You've got to lead with confidence, but once you get the rhythm going, it's a lot of fun, which I thought was a fitting description for the big girl. So for those wondering what colours are available, there's 3. Black Storm Metallic, which you see here, Mineral Grey Metallic Matte, and Manhattan Metallic Matte. And there's also a wide range of accessories available if you want to add a few of your own touches, such as the filler panels or the Machine series by Roland Sands Design. And if you prefer to ride solo, you can even get a single seat. So what about the name, I hear you ask? Well, the R18 Roctane is designed to run on high-octane fuel. In layman's terms, octane is the measure of a fuel's resistance to knocking or pinging during combustion. And the higher the octane rating, the more resistant the fuel is to premature ignition. So running the R18 on high-octane fuel obviously helps optimise performance, which is what the Roctane is all about. It really is a rock-solid cruiser that tastefully combines the old and the new. And it's a bike for those who appreciate craftsmanship, performance, and a touch of heritage. So if you're after a cruiser with character, power, and one that oozes style, then the Roctane could be just what you need in your garage. But as we always say, don't just take our word for it. Get on down to your local authorised BMW Motorrad dealer and take one for a ride. Trust me, you're not going to be disappointed. Okay, so now we're going to hand the Roctane over to our test rider, Jonesy. He's going to take it for a burn, and he's going to give us our miles or smiles ratings. So here we go, viewers. As you've seen, we've been bringing you a few different test bikes lately, and we're stepping out of our zone again, and we've got a BMW R18 Roctane.
Whoa.
What did you think, Jonesy?
Whoa. I love this thing. I've always loved BMWs. Remember the R1200 Cruiser, the James Bond thing? I remember getting on that when they first came out. I just love that boxer engine. I love when you go around a corner and you give it a bit of gas and you feel the engine pulling the bike to where the torque's going to go. It can be a little unsettling.
First of all, yeah.
First of all, but once you're into it. And the engine, you're looking down as you're riding this thing, you're just looking at engine.
You feel like you're riding the motor, don't you?
It's like you're in an Indiana Jones movie. You know, they get those old bikes and they make them look, you know, they get old bikes, but it's a new engine and stuff. That's what I love about
Well,
this.
talking about the old bikes and the new engine, I mean, BMW, I mean, they've done that well, obviously, got the modern touches. And with BMW, you can expect the detail to finish.
Well, and also, shaft drive, bulletproof engine. You buy this thing, you would never need to buy another bike again.
No.
You probably wouldn't even have to change the oil.
And it's quite comfortable to ride. The bars are in a good, comfortable position.
It's a good riding position. I love the heel-toe changer. Some people don't understand a heel-toe changer. I don't know why that is. It's so simple. It's so easy to use.
Yeah, because I mean, it can get like at the front there, it's hard to get your foot underneath.
Because you're supposed to use, you use the heel and you press down and you click with your heel.
See, I learn something new every day.
It's not that hard. It's like one of those monkeys. You know, when the monkeys in the jungle, they find a camera? That's Pugsy with this bike. But for me, the young kids, we love this thing.
All right, so now let's get to the scoring.
Okay, well, so affordability, it ain't cheap. So it's a 7 out of 10 for that. Rideability, I think it's an 8 out of 10. It's not overly comfortable for a long ride, but geez, it just looks impressive. And that brings us to braggability, because you're sort of telling everyone about this thing. And everyone, old blokes, I tell you what, if you go to a shop, don't get stuck with this thing at a shop, because if you see an old bloke, he'll come up and he'll go,
You'll have 100 questions.
geez, mate, what's that? A BMW? What year is it? I had one in the war, just like it. So you're gonna be fielding off people, largely not girls in bikinis, old blokes.
Blokes with beards.
Look back ability, I can't help but look at this thing. I love it. So where are we with the scores? So I had like a 7,
Yep.
8, and it was 8, and then we've got a 10.
Yeah, for
10.
look back ability, sure.
It's natural. It's natural look back ability. I love it. That's on the Miles of Smiles rating.
Good on you, mate. Well, we're
Good
going
work,
to test
mate.
a few more BMWs through the year.
Well, let me know. I'm always happy to help, mate.
Good on you,
know,
brother.
it's a hard job.
Thank
Look
you.
after yourself. I'm going to get myself a drink of water from the desal plant.
Well, there you go. Get on down to your dealer and take one for a burn. You might just have as much fun as Jonesy did.